So what do you fancy talking about today?
Hi, I'm Nikki.
Hi, and I'm Barry.
Welcome to the HomeFix show. How we've managed to survive working together for 10 years. Absolutely.
I think I'm in most of the reviews and you're not. I think they...
No, I don't think that.
Because you're the one who sends them the invoice and they got to pay you.
Yeah, they dislike me at that point and only at that point.
I said it in jest. You're actually saying it's true.
What would you say my best quality is? Just one, you don't have to list them all, it's fine.
In fact, you think there's a list.
Your best quality is...
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's the HomeFix show over, so thanks for tuning in.
How have we made it to 10 years?
God knows.
No, seriously, I actually don't know. It has had, really has had its challenges.
An argument at work can very easily continue at home.
Yeah. So, who's the better business person and why?
Oh, Christ.
Who do you think I said?
I think you probably said...
Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome to the HomeFix show.
Hi, and I'm Barry. So what do you fancy talking about today?
We're going to talk about our last 10 years of business and how it's been, the highs, the lows, how it's all worked out.
Well, one of the lows is my husband and wife team, isn't it?
Right.
No, we're also going to do a bit of Q&A, talk about some of the challenges that we've had over the last 10 years, haven't we? How it all started, where you came into the business, because I hadn't actually started it that long until you came into it, had I?
No, you'd only been going for a few months and I decided to help you out. 10 years later, we're still here, still going
Thank you
hard
each
at
other.
it. Yeah, that is very true.
There's been some challenges, or there has been some occasions where you probably felt like killing me, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tempting. You're not yet, though. That's good. I don't know why I'm laughing so much.
That's
I've
right.
just got a fit of the giggles now.
So now I remember, so it was 2014, so I just left FSG, and then you were still John Lewis, and how long had you been there?
I'd been there at John Lewis for, 18 and a half years before I took redundancy from them and decided to just come and help you out.
Well, you actually took your 6-month break. So, because you was due you were going to be at a certain amount of time at John Lewis, wasn't you? And then
Yeah.
it was going to be a 6-month break that you got paid. So you decided to take that 6th month because I think Lucas was just starting school or just finishing nursery.
Lucas was going to start school and Lauren was doing her GCSEs, so perfect time to take 6 months out. But then I got a bit bored, didn't I? I just said I'd come and help you a bit.
Yeah, and the business was totally in its image. I don't think it was even advertising then. I was getting work subcontracted to me.
In our living room.
In our living room, not fax machine, it was a scanner in the corner.
Photocopier.
Oh God, I ain't that old. But yeah, photocopier on top of the, top of the skybox or something stupid like that.
And all my different coloured folders all placed out in our living room of all places.
How did we do that? And when you look back on everything we've done in the last 10 years, to have sat there in a living room, working
crazy.
purely from mobile phones, no office environment, and here we are 10 years later, still doing it in an office environment. So I think you can be proud of the last 10 years anyway.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought would be quite good fun, and this is my idea, so bear with me, was we've asked a few people a couple of questions about how we've managed to survive working together for 10 years. So we've thrown some questions out there and we're going to answer them. So honest answers, please. No cheating.
Okay, but I haven't seen these questions.
No, I know you haven't, but that's part of the fun, so we'll work with that. Also going to talk about the business, how it's going, a couple of business questions and then some horror stories that we've encountered, not our own business, but from other companies. And yeah, that will be the roundup of our first ever podcast.
Yeah, and I think we'll have more after this, haven't we? So hopefully if you enjoy it and you want to listen to it, we're going to have to come up with some new things to talk about over the next 12 months.
Yeah, well, it's something we don't struggle too much talking, do we? But at the moment, I've got a fit of nerves, so hopefully we'll get beyond those.
Well, let's go back to 2014 then. So when we had the idea we was going to start the business, didn't have a business name. So do you remember where we were?
I do, yeah.
'Cause I think you actually came up with a business name.
Yes, absolutely, and it stuck, and we are not changing it. So yeah, I do remember.
Why did you say we're not changing
We're not changing it. It stuck.
Is that going back to that TikTok I did the other day where a customer actually rung up and told us to change our business name?
Yes, because we don't fix anything. But if you've been following us on TikTok and socials, you'll know that actually there's a real good story behind that. But anyway, we won't go into that one now. So I do remember we were in Southampton and we were going through loads of different names of what we could call the business. And then all of a sudden I said HomeFix. So I take the credit for that.
Yeah. Well, no, it stuck. But I remember
yeah.
registering that on Company's House, and before I knew it, there was about 300 companies called HomeFix.
Yeah.
So we had to tag the little Home Counties Limited after it.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Because there is another company in Milton Keynes called HomeFix that keeps getting confused with us sometimes as well. Doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We get their emails and they get ours.
Yeah. So all that time ago, we came up with the name, didn't we? In Southampton, we'd been to Portons Park, is it called? I remember.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Can't remember anything else that's happened in the last 10 years, but I remember that bit.
No, is it Peppa Pig World? Yeah.
Yeah, we were. And then it kind of just spiraled from there. I just said, oh, I'll come and help you do a little bit of administration. And then, the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, and then I think we actually started advertising it. I think it was just in a local newspaper.
Yeah.
And a couple of little town flyers, those kind of
We
things.
did, yeah.
And then at that time, just one fitting team, and literally a guy on his own, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then us two in our living room.
Yeah, and then by 2015, I think we signed up for our first offices when we realised we were getting busy enough to actually warrant it. We've been there ever since.
Yeah.
Although we've gone on to bigger office now in the same building, haven't we?
I just remember thinking, oh, are you sure about this? Is this a good idea? Oh, is this going to work? And I was a little bit
You say it every year. Whenever we have a bad month, you say, right, should we go back home?
Yeah, let's go back. We do have our accountants to thank for that, because they've always pushed us to say, don't go backwards, always move forward. So thank you very much for that, the Spices. We appreciate that. They've always been really supportive on not going backwards and focus on the future. So, and we have been working with our accountants since day dot when they started as well. So we've got quite a good rapport with them, haven't we? Which is nice.
It's good having that support as well.
Yeah. So just thinking back, how did we get to this before we even started? What was it you were doing before you decided to come up with HomeFix?
Yeah, so I was at a company called FSG, so a company in Milton Keynes that was where I just was purely about fascia, soffits and guttering, which is obviously hence the FSG. So that's really, after spending 7 years with them, when I came out of that, I think you become so part of that you think, well, the only thing I can continue doing here is what I've learned. Because all of a sudden I think I was 39. You're kind of thinking, well, wow, I'm nearly 40. I need to just stick with what I know.
Yeah.
So I remember having a good relationship still with the owners, my previous employer, to continue doing what I was doing, and they helped me out a lot at the start. So it's just, it was no other real industry for me to go into unless I started going completely out of field onto something else.
And what kind of role did you take on there? What was it you were doing again?
Well, I was purely like a sales manager,
yeah,
specialising in fascia, soffits and guttering. And we went into a point where we went into solar, but it was really about the fascia soffits that I was, initially why I was there to start with. Other things came into it as the 7 years I was there. Yeah. But it became what I knew. And I enjoyed selling it as well. So yeah, I found it something that I was comfortable with. So I suppose at my age of 39, moving into my own business, a big scary world it was as well. Because I think if you remember, those first 6 months didn't even pay myself.
No, yeah, you did 6 months without paying yourself. It did manage to pay me, but...
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm not too sure how it worked out.
No, I'm not too sure, but it worked out well for me, so I'm not complaining.
No, that's true.
Oh, great. So, yeah, my background. So I left school and went straight to John Lewis. And I was 16, and I was a trainee to start off with, a crowd of people that we all got on so well. We had a good laugh. I didn't really have a plan to stay there forever, but I didn't actually have another plan. So I kind of went with it. 18 and a half years later, I was still at John Lewis and worked my way through the management structure there. And I was managing about 200 people towards the end, and they decided to change the whole structure of how their business operated. And at that point, I thought it was a perfect time for me to try something new. So I took that challenge, and at first, sitting here now, 10 years in our own business, I would never have believed it. I didn't think there was anything better than John Lewis back in the day, and I didn't think we would ever be where we are now. So it's a real achievement.
You run 200 people, and you now work with me. Which one's easier?
the 200 people at John Lewis, 100%.
I knew you was gonna say that.
But, you know, we're still doing it 10 years down the line, so we've got this far, so
Yeah, I
that's
know.
always
Well,
good.
we're doing it with a smile on our face today, and who knows what tomorrow brings.
That is very true. Hopefully another 10 years to go, hopefully longer.
But hopefully with people in place so that we can work less.
Well, that's our plan, and, you know, that is our business plan, our game plan for the future. But yeah, so I kind of, at that point, decided I was going to try something new, albeit absolutely nervous as hell to try something as new. But stepped out of my comfort zone and tried other businesses. And then I thought, no, I'm actually going to take, like you said, the 6 months to take some time with the family. And it was brilliant. And we did have lovely different breaks. We tried lots of different things, didn't we, in that time, which was great. I do remember ringing you one day going, oh, I've booked a trip to, I think we went to Spain or something. You're like, oh, yeah, Nikki, I'm still at work. I still have a job to go to.
No, that's right, you did, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't just get tomorrow off. Oh, right, okay, how come? So I was a little bit naive that the world wasn't just going to tick around how I wanted.
I was just coming to the end of my time with them, and then you suddenly, I remember being in the car with my boss and actually saying to him, so if I go to Spain tomorrow.
But he was really impressed.
I think we had to take the kids out of school as well.
I did,
I think that's, you can say that now, really.
Yeah.
Lauren's 26. So
yeah, exactly. And I kind of was very spontaneous and enjoyed those 6 months, but then realised that life can't continue financially, just having holidays and doing nothing. It was great.
Well, some people argue that you actually always seem to be on holiday.
Yeah, so we do sometimes get a little bit of feedback on the fact that we love our holiday. There's nothing wrong with it, though. You work hard, you play harder.
No, we've always had that motto. So
yeah, definitely. So yeah, then I thought I'd just help you with some admin, and then it kind of went from there, didn't it? And then.
But after that, I think, what do you think has been some of the biggest challenges? Is it more about sort of getting people to do what we do, trying to get customers through the door to get work? We've certainly had those challenges and ups and downs.
I think it
obviously,
really,
COVID being one of them.
Yeah, that aside, that is just totally, you know, that was a different world for everybody. For us, we did have a really good year because everyone was at home and looking
well, they're all
at the
getting
outside.
refunds on their holidays and decided to spend it on their house.
Spend money elsewhere. So in that respect, but when it started, we got back into normal, if that's such a word you're allowed to call it. But once that happened, that had an adverse effect on us, didn't it? And we recoiled into ourselves. We had a site supervisor, an admin team, but we kind of had to draw it all back in because it was a real roller coaster, wasn't it, of work?
Well, I remember saying at the time that we were so busy in COVID. I always thought, I said to you, there will be a point where this falls off a cliff, where there'll be this sudden bit of uncertainty. Though all those people that wanted to spend money on their houses did.
Yeah.
And then everyone was allowed to suddenly go on holiday again in 2021.
And we did literally fall off the edge of that cliff, I remember. I remember
there was
it well.
times where I was thinking, oh Christ, when's our next actual order coming from?
Yeah.
But it's weird to look at that now compared to, say, here we are, 2024, and as people might have seen, we've advertised recently trying to get extra people on board because we have changed our marketing strategy. We are doing new things, trying things out of our comfort zone, and actually, hopefully now seeming to reap the rewards, similar to the ones we had in 2018 when we got our first commercial contract in Northampton.
True, yeah.
On the council contract, which really then was a springboard for us, I believe.
It was, and again, I was a bit sceptical about that, wasn't I? Saying, oh, are you sure about this? Oh, I don't know. And I was very much trying to be the voice of reason, and you were like, 100%, yes, we're doing it. We're going to make it work. And I'm saying, how? And you kept going, we'll make it work, we'll make it work. And I was like, well, how are you going to make it work, Barry? But you did.
Get the work in, deal with the chaos later.
That is very, very true. That's something that we have both very much learned.
But yeah, that was it. I don't know, at that point, I think we probably had 7 or 8 working teams, most of them across the Northamptonshire contract.
There's probably a few more than that with the commercial projects, the domestic work as well. So
true.
Yeah, we were very busy. At that time, we had our own daughter working with us. She was helping us with admin.
My dad.
Your dad worked with us as a site supervisor.
And he was, 76 or something?
Bless him.
No, we're not just to know, though. We weren't like slave drivers making, giving,
he
was getting paid. He wanted to stick with us.
Yeah. And we had my sister-in-law working with us doing administration as well. So over the years, we really have kept it in the family.
Yeah, we've tried to.
Yeah, absolutely. And more recently, we've had our son diving into our TikToks with HomeFix t-shirts on.
No, that's
just
true.
for the fun of it. So.
Yeah, I think we tried him once after school as a bit of homework to try doing some of the customer guarantees. How long did that last?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. He got a bit bored.
Before we got the ump with it.
He's due to do his work experience in May, and I said, "You're going to come and work in HomeFix?" He said, "Absolutely not." Oh, okay, thanks.
He actually said to me in the car the other day, what are you actually going to do with HomeFix in like 10 years' time? Because obviously we've been speaking, he hears us speaking about it all the time, doesn't he? And I was like, well, are you sure this isn't something that I can give to you? And I don't think I'd finish the word you before he went, no way, absolutely no chance. I think he thinks the thought of actually working for us, probably because he does come to our office after school, doesn't he? Does his homework, has his own desk in there.
And because we both live and work together,
you'll see us argue about it.
Live and breathe it, don't we?
Yeah.
So it's at home as much as we try hard not to. And I think that's been one of our biggest challenges, is trying to get that work-life balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a real thing, and it is really hard, especially when you work together and you want to do well at what you do. So
I think someone actually said to us at one of our academies recently, where they said it didn't believe that was it Paul that doesn't believe there is such thing as a work-life balance. You're either fully in on one this or fully in on that. And what is the thing of a work-life balance? What does it actually mean to you? Because for everyone else, it's going to be different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for us, you like to think that you're Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But that's absolutely impossible running your own business. Yeah. And every other business owner you speak to just says there's no way this is a 9 to 5 job.
No, it's
and people never really see the challenges or the hours actually as a business owner you put in, which is a phenomenal amount.
Yeah,
especially when it's still emails late at night. And that's the problem is, I suppose, with modern technologies, because everyone knows that if you send an email, someone's going to get that on their iPhone. So we'll get people maybe message us on a Friday night that actually probably do want to reply because they're not prepared to wait till Monday. Back in the old days, you shut your phones off at 5 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
You dealt with stuff on the Monday.
I find myself messaging people now saying, I'm not expecting a response at the moment, but purely because I've got time to ask a question. The people out there will know who I'm talking about in particular. But, if I want to book something in and it's maybe something for my personal self, then I might message them and then think, I'm not being fair on them because I'm messing you out of hours. But it's the way life is now, isn't it? You can message people all the time.
You said that is with WhatsApp groups. We do it ourselves with our subcontractors or our scaffolders, and suddenly you have a question pop into your head, and there you are on 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. That's sad. It shows I don't go out. Yeah. Messaging your scaffolder about work on Monday.
Well, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning and wrote a note and emailed myself actually, and decided to email myself then in case I forgot, because I felt I can't email someone at 3 a.m. with a question.
You look like you really have no life.
Yeah, you have really, really no life.
So that work-life balance then is more like work here, actual bit of life down there, and sometimes it comes round.
But we do try and keep it real. We both know that life is far too short, so we do like to work hard but play hard as well, don't we?
No, yeah, I think in any walk of life, you've got to try and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think as you get older as well, as you know, I'm 50 next year, so you kind of look at things and go, right, what am I doing next year for my 50th and things like that. But
celebrating by the sounds of it.
Absolutely, you need to celebrate it, but why...
How many trips have you already booked, Barry?
No, we'll come back to that. None of them with you.
Yeah, thanks. So this is how it works. We just don't do anything together.
So that's where maybe we've got the work-life balance a little bit offset. Maybe we need to do more together, because that never happens either, does it? Of course it doesn't.
I'm not moaning, honest.
Yeah, cool.
How was your trip to Spain?
When did I go to Spain?
You just come back.
I got back yesterday, yeah. So, that was good fun.
I held the fort and the team were great and they helped me through it. So, yeah.
But that's... Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Apparently so. I'm clearly still in a nightmare. No, I'm joking. I'm only joking.
What are we talking about next then?
Good question. So the other things, what else have we been through in the last 10 years? I'm trying to rack my brain.
Well, you're always going to get, as we've gone through the years, we've had some... customers are the lifeblood of what we do, but sometimes there have been some challenges where, do you remember that we had a phone call from a neighbour, but he actually knew me from like when we were kids and just asked if we could help out because he'd been absolutely ripped off by some people that had knocked on his door to what he thought was change his guttering. But whilst they were knocking at the door, he had his wife, sort of, who was bedbound in the back of the house to distract him, and they came through the back door and actually robbed him.
Yeah, I remember feeling quite emotional about that bit of the
It was
story.
awful. But the work they actually did, and he didn't realise he'd been robbed until later, because the poor old boy just shut the front door and let them crack on, paid them cash.
God.
And every time it rained, the water was coming into his house, and we were asked to help out. And I just remember thinking, that is a horror story. And you do, unfortunately, over the years, we've had quite a few, and it has happened quite a lot with what I'd call vulnerable people on their own, people that are older, maybe don't fully understand what they're doing, feel intimidated, so they end up, they're paying these
just
people.
The other day, bless her, who rang me saying, I've got the work booked in with you, and she'd got herself a little bit confused, hadn't she? And she'd gotten herself in a bit of a muddle and thought she was talking to us, but she was talking to somebody else.
But she was texting, wasn't she?
Tears. Yeah, she was in tears on the phone to me, saying he's now making me do it because he's already bought the materials and he can do it tomorrow. And in all honesty, this is where we pride ourselves. We don't do pushy sales. We booked the customer in, but we can't fit her in until next month, the end of next month. So in some respects, it's, I just said, I just don't want her to be taken advantage of. And at the end of the day, go with him, but just make sure that
I do think that's
right
actually good advice that we can give to our customers, that in any trade that you're involved in, if someone is available, and this is talking from experience as well, that if someone's available the next day, sometimes there's a reason why, because people with good reputations, people that work hard, do good work, tend to be someone you have to wait for. Absolutely. But then there is a clutch of customers who will think, oh, brilliant, someone can do it tomorrow, and they don't. It's probably only having industry knowledge that you realise someone shouldn't really be available that quick.
Whenever I ring a customer, it'd be the very odd occasion I'll say, oh, we could actually probably start it next week. And that, in even saying it, it's always like, oh, wow, this is not normally the case.
But those are anomalies, aren't they? That's
so
rarities when...
But for people to, we've had people in the past where the customer has booked you in for an appointment, you've turned up to the appointment and someone's physically doing the work because we're so busy.
I remember, that was in Buckingham. The guy's ladder was up on the side of the house, and obviously we know a lot of the other fascia fitters in the industry. And I knew him, and I looked up at him and I was like, all right, Tony. So I was like, do a knock on the customer's door and saying you've got an appointment with me to price the work that this guy's actually up there doing.
Absolutely, that was crazy. I remember that. But it is what it is, and people do what they need to do.
But I think competition's healthy as well. You want actually to have competition out there in a way, because it's there's enough work to go out.
What's my analogy always been? It's been about, it's always good, like if you've got lots of shops selling the same thing in a shopping centre, that's good competition, it's healthy competition.
Well, people won't go up there.
People up there, so competition is great, I think.
Yeah, so it's just allowed, but we need to make our shop front, if you like, which would be us, our website, our brand, which have always been real proud of the HomeFix sign, the bright blue that everyone comments on when we do our advertising. So, we're confident our brand sticks out there, and hopefully it's doing things like this that help build that brand as well.
But the other thing we've done is we've gained quite a few accreditations over the years, and that in itself, it's a task in itself, getting the accreditation. So we got CHAS accredited, and we have been now, for 8 years?
And for people that don't know what that is, that's about how you operate as a business on a health and safety front. So, we're not the ones that get up 5 metres high on a scaffold or a ladder or anything else. So we have to make sure that the guys that are working for us, we have these accreditations that gives us that protection as well, if you like, that
absolutely.
We are wanting our teams or expecting our teams and train the teams to work in a safety conscious manner.
And we realised the importance of that early on, didn't we? But we also more recently have gained our gold construction line accreditation as well, which we're proud of, because that's a higher level.
But that opens doors for more commercial work. So we had that big commercial contract in 2018, which obviously ceased in 2022, and we've now continued to look for that extra commercial work. But that is those are accreditations that those companies, which are much bigger companies than us, and they're going to subcontract the fascia and soffit and cladding work that we require. But those are hurdles you've got to get over in order to get that work.
Yep, totally.
I am the boss. But it was a few weeks ago. I think there was a daughter rung up on behalf of her mother because she said she wanted new guttering, and she had loads of guttering. It was a massive bungalow.
Yeah, bless her.
Unfortunately, I was able to get up on ladders at that height to have a look at it, and they just needed cleaning. And I just thought to myself, someone who's probably had less morals would definitely come out to this woman, because if he was going to quote it, it was with the amount of guttering she has, it was, you know, it was a 4-figure job. It was over £1,000 quite comfortably, and someone probably would have asked her for that, and she just didn't need it. And I recommended that she get them cleaned. Just use one of the little booklets to find people who do fascia and guttering cleaning, which a lot of window cleaners do these days, and you'd probably pay 60-70 quid. And she still asked for a quote anyway, so I gave her a quote. But one day she might need that. But I just felt to myself, there was 100% of some of the things I've seen over the years that a company would have gone out there and got good money out of her.
Taking advantage of her, yeah.
And that's the problem. So. They may have done a good job, but she didn't actually need it. So I think that's some of the things that, in terms of how we like to work with morals and doing things right. Because even if jobs go wrong, I mean, every job we do, let's be honest, there might be a minor snag just because it was getting dark, or there could be a bit of silicone missing, you know, all kinds of minor little things. But we are always one of those companies that will go back.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, it's why we offer a 10-year guarantee, to know that we're going to go back if something is wrong. And touch wood, apart from the odd leaking gutter, which will happen, especially with that deluge of rain we had a few weeks ago, where everyone was ringing us up because gutters were overflowing, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But that isn't something we do. We don't repair gutters. And we do get an awful lot of calls. During that, I think I must have had over 100 calls about leaking gutters. And it isn't something we do, but we always try and help people and recommend
try and give the numbers.
People. We specialise in the full replacement. We don't do the repairs, and that is something that we just want to get that message across, don't we, to our customers?
Yeah, because we offer a 10-year guarantee, and then some of those guarantees might not. I don't know I'm not saying what the competition do, but I know there's probably some companies out there that don't offer a 10-year guarantee. Is to do that, you have to give a whole home solution.
Absolutely.
You can't pop out and put a silicone in a joint and they'll expect that to leak again 2, 3, 4 weeks later, especially the way our rain flow is happening now. I mean, there's some of the weather we're experiencing now, even though it makes our phones go mad, like you say, sometimes it is just a matter of, it's the gutter being so overwhelmed, it's actually overflowing, it's not leaking.
Yes.
And the amount of inquiries we had to that, and people say, oh, my gutter's not coping. I said, well, no gutter's going to cope with a month's worth of rain in a day. You know, if you fill a bath and walk away, guess what? It's going to overflow.
That is very true. I like your analogy.
Anyway, you said we had some questions.
Yes.
So am I being thrown under a bus?
You are, 100%. I obviously know my own answer to it, but I want you to answer for me.
So I'm answering how I think you would answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to answer for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but if you already know the questions...
Yeah, but then you'll know what my answer is as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Are you
right.
okay with that?
Well, let's give it a go.
Should we give it a go?
Let's
Try
give it a go.
one question.
Go on then.
Are you okay with this?
Go on then,
You
first
seem
one.
nervous.
Well, I don't know what you're bloody about to say, do I?
So, right, let's start with the first one.
Can I tell you to F off?
No, you can't say bad language at all.
Okay.
You're on the HomeFix show. Please do not swear, okay?
All right. Well, yeah, you got that from Big Brother. You
I
think
did,
you're Davina
yeah,
McCall
yeah.
now, don't you?
I'm not as confident as her, though, bless her. Okay, so first question. What motivates me the most? What do you think motivates me the most? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think from you it would be when we receive a good review.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd agree with that? So I got that right. Is that what motivates you?
It does motivate me, absolutely.
But is it the only thing?
No, it's not the only thing that motivates me. The one thing
Working
that
with me is the
motivates
other
me the
thing,
most
yeah.
is definitely not the right answer. The one thing that motivates me the most, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is making the customers happy. And I do think, you might disagree, but I do build some good rapport with some of our customers. And, you know, I know lots about all of our customers, maybe talk a little bit too much on occasion when I've got
No, credit's where credit's. Normally, when I turn up to do a survey, there'll always be some comment about Nikki in the office. And you've probably already had the conversation.
Is it a positive or a negative?
Oh, no, it's always a positive.
Nikki in the office. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, sometimes it isn't you. Sometimes they'll get the call answering team, but they're always so helpful as well. But inevitably, they'll talk to you because you're booking my appointment.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the customer service element and the journey that our customer goes on is always quite complimentary about. Is because of the effort you put in to make sure that this is what we're going to do, this time's going to turn up, what his name is, and then you follow it up with an email.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, there are comments made about you that are positive. there's comments made about me that are positive too.
Absolutely.
I think I'm in most of the reviews and you're not. I think they...
No, I don't think that.
Because you're the one who sends them the invoice and they got to pay you.
Yeah, so they dislike me at that point and only at that point. So the question the other way round, my answer to you, what motivates you the most, I would say is doing a good job. So you will not, you're like, thinking of a good analogy, I'm not, but you continue with something until it's totally done and the customer's really happy. I think that's a really good...
Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable or restful until I know that a job is completed. So there'll be times I'll be waking up in the morning and go, right, this job's starting, and I'm already starting to think about, right, what needs to happen?
Yeah.
Because obviously I place all the order for materials, customers already met me, I've kind of delivered what we're going to offer as a service. So that is... going back to the beginning of that, the motivational part is actually the sale coming in. Yeah, because
that's true.
From anyone know, and like I said, we don't do pushy sales,
actually,
but I am.
That might be my answer.
The sales element of it is the part of the job I enjoy. So
conversions, you get really happy when you've converted.
Yeah. So when you've met a customer, how many times I've come back to you and you said, "How was your appointments now?" Right, we'll get that one, and that one.
Yeah.
Because you get a feeling from speaking to the customers. Not because you've oversold, it's not because there's a pushy sale, because as you know, we don't...
building a rapport with them, aren't you?
Yeah, we tend to get our orders a day or two later. Once everything's confirmed in email, what the price is, the specification, the guarantees. But you do get a good feel. And I think when those ones come in, and you always come up to me sometimes in the office and went, yeah, you're right, and we have a little high five moment.
That is true, yes.
Because it is... So I think... that at the beginning motivates me more.
Okay.
But that motivation then continues because of making sure that then what I've said we're going to do gets delivered.
You're driven by sales conversion, absolutely.
I am.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question.
Why are you laughing and where are these questions?
No, it's like, bear with, it's fine. So what frustrates you the most? What would I say?
Right. What frustrates you the most?
You can't give it a whole list. I just want one answer.
Me.
Full stop. Is that the answer?
The answer.
Just for being there. No.
For breathing. For.
I would say what frustrates you the most is your phone.
Oh, hold on a minute. Backtrack.
Sorry, I've just jumped on your question.
So what you're saying, me is the right answer?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
I said it in jest. You're actually saying it's true.
No, it's not just you.
Okay,
it's just...
so give the answer then.
Yeah.
What if I said that what frustrates you most is probably me, but that was kind of on a I jest.
What do you think I said? That you think I just said you as an...
I think if there's a breakdown in communication. So obviously there's lots of different ways things need to communicate because we've got so many variables to the work that we do, and it only takes one little fall down in that breakdown of communication. And when it happens, because you know in your mind you're that liaison point with the customer, if any of that breaks, and sometimes it can,
it comes back on me.
It comes back on you. So if you've gone from that customer who's gone, everything's great, and it might be 10 minutes, it might be an hour, a missed phone call or whatever it might be. And I think if that little bit happens, I think that's probably what annoys you the most.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it isn't me.
No. I'll let you off with that one. I would say the reverse of that question about you, what frustrates you the most on your day-to-day is the phone. Because the phone is constantly going. And I don't mean the office phone, because I manage that with the call answering team, who are great. But your phone is constant from early hours until really late at night, and you will still be having communications about work, sometimes at 10:30, 11, and that's been going. People just don't understand that that's been going since 6 a.m. So you don't really get any respite. So I kind of understand why you get frustrated at it and look at it like it's the devil's something.
No, it is. I mean, but it comes with the reason I've accepted that, and because it hasn't been different for 10 years, is I've kind of accepted it comes with the territory. However, that doesn't mean to say that territory can be changed by having people in place, which, as we know, it's part of the reason we're doing what we're doing now is to grow the business, to offer opportunities, because our new website's coming out, and that's going to have an employment section to it, because these are all the positive steps that we're taking, so that we have just become grandparents,
Yeah.
and we do want to sort of enjoy that as he grows up as well. Not ignoring our kids, of course, but it is quite cute and fun to have another little part of our family around. And there's no way that we went back on life balance earlier, and something has got to give. None of us are getting any younger.
Speak for yourself.
Well, unfortunately, just time is always going against us, isn't it? So
Yeah, and it is just the best. That is, I think, my most favourite accolade for the whole of the last 10 years is just becoming grandparents most recently. I'm just overjoyed. Like, for anybody who's experienced becoming a grandparent, it's amazing. It really is truly amazing, because you get all the niceties and you can do all the fun bits and you can give them back. So that's what I absolutely love.
Have you not changed a pooey nappy yet then?
I have, yes. Yeah.
I've not had that experience. I've only managed to feed him once, I think. He's always asleep.
That's because you've been away, that's why.
Well, no, I'm working, because I'm sitting there at 10 o'clock at night working.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you off.
He's always got his eyes closed.
Bless it.
3-week-old babes, all they do is sleep, isn't it? Sleep and poo.
Oh, not long. You can take him on a holiday or something.
It's like me when I was in Tenerife last week.
Disgusting. Anyway, moving on to the next question. What would you say my best quality is? Just one. You don't have to list them all. It's fine. You got to think of one.
The fact you think there's a list is bad. So let's get that out of the way.
I couldn't answer yours.
No, your best quality comes from the background that you had with the 17 years of customer service. I couldn't do what you do, whereas, like you say, you'll spend a lot of time, and it's important. It's a part. You do the rapport building on the phone, whereas I do it face to face.
Yeah.
And whether that's because of I get so many phone calls that I don't want to spend that much time on the phone, because I'm always thinking, right, I've got to get on to the next thing, do the next thing, do the next thing.
Yeah, we do have a rush in the phone for me to answer the phone first.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can little bit, Barry, you could have said that in a bit more positive.
So, yeah, it's the customer service element you bring to everything, and the communication level that you demand is high in everyone. That if it wasn't there, it would make my job even harder.
Is that a polite way of saying I'm a bossy bitch? Yeah, absolutely.
Bossy bitch.
Oh. But no, that does make sense. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So what are you answering about me?
Your best quality, just talking work, because obviously there's so many we could talk about.
Of course. Easy.
Yeah, joking. Anyway, your best quality is...
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's the HomeFix show over, so thanks for tuning in, and we need a chat off air.
Yeah. Your best quality is following a task through and being committed to it, and following it through and doing a really good job with it.
Thank you very much. Said following through twice, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
So basically seeing through jobs to the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question, let's move on.
Okay.
Who's the most knowledgeable?
Me.
Who would you say? No, but you're saying
sorry.
it for me.
Okay, still me.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll let you have that, because my answer to that would be you as well, because you have a background in that environment.
No, that is true.
If we were talking about customers and customer service, I would be more involved.
I haven't said that, no,
knowledge.
but I do come into the office sometimes, and there'll be, whether it's the CRM system, the technical bit, or the organisation you've got in the office.
Yeah.
How many times if you're out and I'm in, it's like, where's this, where's that? And you're like, I left it on your desk. And you're like, oh yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah. Just simply say to you, just don't touch it.
But,
there is an order.
But yeah, as an overall, me.
Okay. You are the most knowledgeable about the products and so forth.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I'll definitely give you that.
All right, fine.
How the business operates.
No, there's, you've got some argument.
Yeah.
Some,
I will
not much,
try.
but yeah.
Okay, another question.
Yes.
So the next question was, how have we made it to 10 years?
God knows.
No, seriously, I actually don't know. I can't believe it's 10 years has passed, to be honest.
Well, no, we're both competitive.
Yeah, that's
So our goal is the same.
yeah.
And it's our livelihood now, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
the reason we've now done all this change was to actually reignite our belief and our fun in the brand, because we'd got to that point. What we said was like, right, we're doing the same thing every day, and the business doesn't seem to be going as forward in the way that we need it to or want it to.
Yeah.
So I think if without having that similar goal, I said it earlier, dream work makes the team work. No,
Yeah, but it
teamwork
hasn't-
makes the dream work. I said that completely wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Hasn't always been plain sailing though, has it? It has had really has had its challenges, and it has tested our relationship at times. Did you think that or not?
Well, of course it tests our relationship, because an argument at work can very easily continue at home.
Yeah, and
Or
I
it's the
think
silent treatment.
I can't do the whole, if I've got the ump, I've got the ump. I can't switch off when I leave the office and not take it home.
And vice versa.
They do say don't ever go to sleep on an argument, but we regularly do that.
That's what spare beds are for.
Yeah, thanks. But
And sofas.
I think it hasn't come easily, but we've achieved it, and that's quite a...
No, but then the element of the work hard, play harder comes into it, where we do go and enjoy ourselves, whether it's a weekend or a holiday. But you need those times, otherwise, God, what we actually doing it for?
A lot of the time over the years as well, if we've not taken a break to physically go away from it, we will work. And that's why we've probably gone away and done different things with the family, because staying here, we're too close to it, and it's part of our DNA for 10 years to work. So we do try and break away.
But clearly glutton for punishment, because here we go again for the next
10. Absolutely, yeah. So that was the next question. How do you manage work-life balance?
Oh, well, we've kind of touched on that already, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's hard to, it's hard, but we do it, I think, in some way.
Yeah.
And again, I agree with what Paul told us months ago. I don't think there's such a thing as balance. I think it goes in 1 minute it's there, then the other one's there. And that's the topsy-turvy roller coaster. But that was our choice. I don't make any complaints. I don't have any regrets. I'm glad we did it. I can't even imagine. Could you imagine me as an employee?
No, definitely not.
Could you imagine what I'd be like on day one?
Sorry for
Could you imagine I'd be like in a job interview?
For.
So, right, what's your... I'd end up interviewing him, saying, well, this is what I'll do, and this is how I change it, and this is what... Sorry, Mr. Thurston, I don't think we're going to work.
Yeah, so I don't think that either of us could work for anybody now, because we don't actually work.
Could you
for
not,
each other.
honestly, though?
We work for ourselves.
Yeah, but do you honestly think that you couldn't...
I don't think I could now. Definitely not. No.
Could you
Why
imagine
do you think more me than you then?
I didn't say more.
Oh, right.
I just was surprised. I thought you would actually say, well, one, because I'm not working with Barry anymore. But
That's true.
could you imagine going to a job interview?
No. I just couldn't even imagine it.
It's like
this
trying to picture going on another first date.
I'm
What would you rather? Go on another first date or another first job interview?
Who's the first date with? Anyway.
I should have saw that bloody answer coming.
The next question is, do you remember how we met?
Good God, no. I was drunk. I was in a nightclub. I was desperate. It was 2 a.m. I was going... you was a rebound, weren't you? I just met the first love of my life. And
okay.
No, that isn't
Right,
true.
moving on.
So we met at our niece's first birthday party, because my close friend is your brother-in-law.
Absolutely, yes. And that would have been my same answer as well. I just wanted to check that you knew.
Yes. Do you remember where our first date was?
Where our first date was? Oh, God. Oh, am I in trouble if I get this wrong?
Does nice
Las
cocktails.
Iguanas,
Yes.
I do remember.
There you go.
It was great.
So was that actually questions new ones you just came up with, or?
No.
right.
That's one of the questions I would ask out.
Okay.
So another one. Were there any concerns going into business together? I don't think I ever really thought it through, to be honest.
No, I can't remember anything at the time. I think I was really more aware that I needed help. And if
Yeah.
you're going to have someone actually come into the business and help, then who more so than the person you trust the most?
Yeah.
Because we've always had... But your work ethic was always fantastic. You had such a... you'd proved with 17, 18 years at John Lewis and climbing the ladder... that work ethic is there. And I knew my work ethic was there and wanted to build on something. So, no, I don't think, even with hindsight, that there was anything negative there.
We never really sat and talked about it, did we? It just transpired.
Just happened.
And
Yeah.
we just went with it. And then 10 years later, we started talking about it. It feels like it could have been yesterday. It just sort of...
No, I can still
snowballed,
remember
didn't
it. Like you said, it was at a different house then. We've moved house since, in the first 5 years, we moved house again.
I think I've always been that niggle on your shoulder, haven't I? Because you'll be like, right, let's do it. Whether that was taking
Sorry,
on a commercial...
you're now actually aware that you are that niggle on my shoulder.
I don't mean moaning. I didn't say moaning. But that kind of...
Nagging, though.
No, I'm not nagging. Just a constant reminder of thinking things through. Because when we first started working together, you would do things 100 miles an hour. And I'd be like, right, okay, why are we doing
I still
it?
think there's an element I do things at 100 miles
Yeah,
an hour.
you do. Absolutely. So do I. I'm not doubting that we don't work at any form of speed. But I just think about the consequences of things. And I probably wouldn't have taken as many leaps of faith if I wasn't working with you, but I've trusted in you, and you know we're here now to tell the story, literally. So yeah, it's not so bad.
Sorry, my phone was just ringing.
Am I
Still
boring
connected. No, my phone was ringing and it was like vibrating on my watch.
Okay.
I thought I'd better cancel that.
Oh, nice one. My phone's been ringing all the way through, and I've just ignored it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Any more questions?
Yeah, a few more to go still.
All right.
Not so bad, eh?
No, it's all right. Carry on.
So, would you start any other business?
Yep. Glutton for punishment. Well, you know I want to start another business, but I've already got another business. As you know, I own the Asprey franchise, specialising in insurance damage. But yeah, I've got a thing I want to do with HomeFix to give us another service offering, which I'm not going to talk about now because I want it to something I want to look at in 2025. But you'll tell me once again that I'm absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Regardless
of your
we'll have a discussion about it, decide I'm right, and then go ahead with it anyway.
Oh, I don't think that's entirely right. I think there's been a few things we did. Do you remember when we started doing
conservatory conversion?
Roof conversion.
Oh God, I'd never go back on. There you go. You said about no regrets.
Yeah.
That's something we should never have started.
No, and then I think that's why it makes me, everything we do, I question it. So we're making an informed decision. I'm not nagging.
Yeah, but we've got very good at doing what we're doing, and the other thing I've got in my head it's a very transferable
piggyback
skill.
onto it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll talk
Watch
about
this
that
space.
one. Yeah.
Watch this space. Maybe that's on podcast number 6.
We will see.
When you'll be going, see, told you.
So, another question.
Yep.
Out of the both of us, who's most likely to suggest a takeaway for dinner?
You.
Absolutely. I have to be honest, I can cook, I just don't enjoy cooking. So to me, it's a real chore. It's probably the most stressed I get is being in a kitchen, trying to do a dinner, having worked all day. And
you did burn pasta once.
Yeah, I'd had a few glasses of wine on my birthday. Drop me in it. But you are actually a really good cook. There you
Thank
go.
you. There you go.
That's one of your qualities that I love about you, because you're great at cooking.
Yeah, brilliant. But yes, it's you that would definitely first suggest a takeaway.
Absolutely, yeah. What are we having tonight?
I've cooked. Did it all before we left the house this morning.
Hello, I prepped it all and I left it there just for you to do.
Can we just confirm what food prep is, right? Taking potatoes, carrots, the flour, the corn flour, the onion, and leaving it on the side isn't food prep. That's moving it.
It is in my...
Moving it from the fridge to the worktop next to the chopping board. So when it's chopped, sliced, diced, done in a pan before going in the slow cooker.
I also had to do the school. I also had to get our child to school. So
it's 4 miles away.
So you cannot walk it though. He would get lost. Yeah, bless him. He would definitely get lost.
That's all.
Anyway.
Yeah, we digressed there. But
we did indeed. So who's the better business person and why?
Oh, Christ.
Who do you think I said?
I think you probably said me. You did, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Why are you the best business person?
Because you are...
Where are we going with this?
Something you're learning is to look back at the figures and stuff, and not looking at the actual figures of business.
Sorry, to look...
You do the work, for God's sake.
Right, we'll have to edit that.
Yeah, edit.
So let's start that question again, right?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Oh, I'm getting hot. Who's the better business person and why?
Right, so I think you said me, but you obviously didn't.
Yeah.
So, and I think me, so who goes first and why?
I will.
Okay.
I think slightly more strategic in terms of planning and organising and figures But in fairness to you, I spend more time in the office than you do. So I have that ability to be able to do so. You know, we never did ever define our roles. They have just naturally migrated into who does what. And I will send you every month a ballpark figure and you run with it. And that's not, in terms of strategically planning, you probably...
No, in terms of, I suppose, when you look at it now, is you do all the month end, all of the invoicing, know all of the figures, do all the liaison with the bookkeepers and accountants. So in terms of that, all that back office support is actually all being done by you.
But from a future-proofing plan...
Sorry. I think I'm changing my answer there.
That is a compliment. Thank you very much.
But
that's the first.
There's a driving.
This is being recorded. That was a compliment.
Yeah,
everyone's
maybe.
Heard that now.
Yeah, backhanded one. Maybe,
but no, in the opposite respect, you are the business driver from another contents, if you know.
Yeah, I think it's back to good teamwork again, and why we make a good team, bouncing off one another. Perhaps like we always discuss ideas. There's not usually something that gets done. If you don't feel comfortable with a certain decision, you'll always come to me. Whereas I don't always come to you, and I kind of will shoot from the hip a little bit and go and do something. You go,
what did you do that for?
Why didn't we talk about this first? And that kind of thing. So, so I suppose strategically, in terms of more thinking about bigger picture, that does probably come for you. Whereas I'll have more ideas of, I'll be thinking about the next thing when actually we need to.
Okay.
So,
you've probably just answered this one. Who gets the final business decision? You don't get the opportunity to... You've already made it. I didn't have a say in it. You've already done it. You've already moved on. Whereas I'm like, we should talk about things. We should do this.
Yeah, but I haven't made any silly business decisions. Like when we signed up for Trade Mastermind, I made sure you came along to the meeting.
Yeah, I didn't even know what I was coming to. I really had no idea. But to be honest, we spoke about it and we made a team decision on coming into it. So. Yeah. Okay.
So
well, I think the jury's out on that one.
Well, a little bit, but me.
I didn't. What gives you the ick about me?
Nothing.
From a business perspective, there must be something in the office or when I'm out and about.
Oh, if you're just in one of your foul moods, it's like I'd rather just go and sit in the home office than be in our main office.
Oh, have you ever met yourself? Is that just because you're in a foul mood every day?
Right, I'm in a foul mood today.
No, you're all smiling.
Oh, there you go then. It's because we're doing the fun parts of the job.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's probably, I don't know, your answer with me is probably the same if I'm on a low or something. It does create whatever atmosphere there is in the office, and we're both guilty of it.
Absolutely. There are days when we've had a conversation about something at home, it comes into the office and we have to sit and work we don't have to, but we choose to sit and work in silence. And I'm not very good at being quiet, so that is really frustrating.
Oh, you've noticed that about yourself then?
Until I get to sit in front of the camera.
There you go, as a
compliment.
I think.
Absolutely. Okay, another one. So, I don't like this question.
Who come up with it?
Well, it's kind of an amalgamation of people helping with the questions, but who do your staff prefer more? That's harsh, isn't it?
Oh, it's definitely me.
To be fair, I am a bit of the wicked witch, aren't I? And I'm the bossy one.
Apart from on a Friday when it's like...
when everyone wants paying. Yeah, everyone's my best friend.
Yeah, that is a horrible question.
I think we know the answer to that.
Or maybe we take the question to them.
Yeah, let's not ask that either.
They'll probably say you, yeah.
Thanks. I doubt it. Another question. Who's the most grumpiest?
Well, we kind of just touched on that with our icks, didn't we?
No. Who is the most grumpiest? Honest answer about this.
You?
No way. You're 100% the most grumpiest.
No, okay. Agree to disagree.
No way. No, I'm not even having that one as an answer. It's 100% you. Moving on.
All right, fair enough.
Who's the most organised?
Probably you.
Thank you very
Only
much.
because your desk is slightly tidier.
Slightly tidier. Everything is in an organised fashion. Yours is just everywhere.
Yeah, a little bit. But I've still got another business, so I've got maybe less time.
Oh. Okay, moving on. Another question. Who's the most competitive and why?
I think that's 50-50. I think we're both really, really kind of competitive and, I would put that as a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Because if ever you and have a bit of banter, do you remember on holiday where you can set a target on your Apple Watch to compete against you for the amount of steps and the amount of exercise? You win every time.
Yeah.
So in the end, I can't be asked.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the bar and have a drink.
Let's stay there.
True. True
Anyway, so the pressure is off. That is the last of the questions. Are you feeling all like hot?
Yeah, my hands are sweaty. I'm going to run out of water.
Were they as bad as you're expecting?
No, that's all right. I think it made for some interesting chat later.
Okay, so the argument tonight is who's the most competitive?
Right, what moving on to?
I think we need to talk a little bit more about what we actually do, what our future plans are, our future goals, what is our line of work.
Okay. Well, let's go back to that email where someone said you don't fix anything because the business name's HomeFix. So we're trying to build a brand, aren't we? But HomeFix is and always has been about the installation of fascia, soffits, guttering and cladding. That's all we do. We try not...
Installation, the replacement of, not repairs.
Not repairs, the full replacement, whole home solutions, so that then your guarantee stands up. You're responsible for the work that you've done, not a minor repair. It just doesn't work. We tried it at the beginning and it doesn't. But HomeFix is centred around that, or we advertise fascia, soffits, guttering and cladding.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know what fascia and soffits are are made up of the roof line around your house with a guttering attached to it that protects the rainwater and then disperses those into downpipes. The cladding...
And that in itself, we do get a lot of questions about, don't we? We very regularly on the phone, I get customers say...
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Soffits, you know those bits around the top of your house, those bits, I don't know what they're called. Really genuinely, lots of people don't fully understand.
If you're in your house and if you want a new kitchen, you want a new bath, you know what that is.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's why we're so busy in the summer. It's not until you get outside and look up and go, what are those things called? And it's still a question I'm regularly have to. If we get our new website and it's not frequently asked questions, I think number one will be what's a fascia and what's a soffit. Everyone understands what the gutter is.
Yeah.
And the same with cladding. Some people refer to the cladding as the fascia, and the cladding is more about the whole facade of the building, where most of it these days is either hanging tiles or all done in timber cladding, which is all rotten. And that, if you like, is a big part of our business. I think the last 6 jobs we've done have all been cladding, because it's such a aesthetically part of your home that sometimes if it needs updating, you've got no choice, it's falling off.
And I have to say, I find them the best before and afters, because you can really see the difference.
Oh, it's a transformation.
It does transform people's homes.
And what a lot of people are not aware of is when you take that cladding off, you have a chance to insulate that. Because if the house is 40, 50, 60 years old, or even not insulated at all, so that means the house is just, every time you put the heating on, and energy bills are massive at the moment, so you put your heating on, a lot of that's just seeping out of those walls, because more typical construction building a breeze block, like years ago, we're having all this cavity wall insulation pumped into it, making them more efficient. If you've got a wood cladded house, then you're just leaking money on a daily basis.
It's quite scary, really, isn't it?
So the service offering that we do although cladding itself offers a little bit of insulation and weather protection, by insulating it, then putting the cladding on, the job also becomes exempt in VAT for the customer.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're putting extra material on.
A lot of customers don't know that as well.
No,
which is always good.
And we do try to sort of put that across on our website in all our advertising.
Question is, will it stay like that as well, though?
Autumn statement coming up, so who knows what, that was a thing that I think it was round lockdown that Rishi Sunak
introduced.
It used to be 5%, and now, and you can't just be cladding a square metre. It's like where you're offering it as insulating their entire home, if you like, or a certain percentage of it.
Of course.
But the saving of the VAT is massive enough, as well as the continual saving when they put the heating on. And because we use a foil back insulation, it also keeps things cooler in the summer.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's a service offering that the fascia and soffits and guttering is kind of where it all started. But when you're offering a whole home solution of insulating someone's home and then putting up a really attractive cladding, then they're the ones that the
something else that's become really popular, more so in the last couple of years, is mock Tudor. So we've done a whole load of mock Tudor. So that's quite that is quite new to us in the last couple of years,
Well,
isn't it?
when we do a lot of fascia and soffits on houses, and I'll speak to people about the mock Tudor, whereas 10 years ago I wouldn't, but 2 years later I wasn't even aware until 2 or 3 years ago that there was a composite product, a low maintenance offering that will give them that exact like-for-like appearance. Because sometimes people take off the mock Tudor and just put a normal standard horizontal cladding on it, and it might be the only one on that cul-de-sac or that street. And what people like keeping up the Jones. Everyone's like, I don't like what they've done over there.
Yeah, that is true.
So going over and offering a low maintenance solution for that, because most of it is that you have the wood panels on top of a rendered. A lot more is rotten,
Really
and again,
rotten, isn't it? Yeah.
not insulated behind it. So as long as the area is big enough, there's a
But
percentage.
it's also about keeping it in keeping with lots of street have
which
that
a lot of people
Tudor.
want.
And a lot of people are trying to keep that. It's an older style look, but in a more modern product.
Yes,
isn't it?
because we live in Milton Keynes, which has got lots of modern estates, but there is so much mock Tudor property on them.
Absolutely.
And the more recent jobs that we've done, again, is the look of it at the end is outstanding.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Okay, so what are our future plans? 10 years in? I don't think we've even spoken about this, so this will be an interesting one.
But we are going through a business planning process with everything that we're doing at the moment. So, I alluded to something a moment ago that I want to do in 2025, but those are an avenue we need to explore and do some research on before we even think about it. But our ultimate thing in the next 12 months is to grow to such a point that we become a bigger company. So we have staff, we have more fitting teams, we have guys operationally helping us out, we have admin people in the office, that allows you and I to actually go back to running the business. So the things like we spoke about with the phone calls from 8 in the morning or till 10 at night, dealing with stuff, it's not sustainable to do that on your own. And that's everything that we're learning as part of this journey we're on.
We can't carry on the way we are for another 10 years, so we need to look at how we future-proof our business, how we develop ourselves to develop ourselves. So one thing we're both really bad at is being complete control freaks.
Yes, well, that doesn't help.
And
but
we're both very like, this is my baby, and we need to be able to grow ourselves and develop ourselves to realise that actually we're not getting any younger, as you said. There's a lot more in life we want to be able to do. We don't want to work 24/7 as it feels. And I know everyone laughs, saying, "Oh, them two, they're always on holiday." Somebody called me Judith Chalmers before.
Don't make out you don't know who that is.
A couple of people may have called me it, but we do go on holiday, but we're still working. So we're just actually working in the sunshine, just not in the office.
Yeah.
So it has its swings and roundabouts, and we've enjoyed loads of great things in the last 10 years, but we're now getting to an age where we need to motivate ourselves, to develop ourselves, and to get other people in that we trust.
Well, it's a term I used
us.
weeks ago, wasn't it? When someone said to me, "What do you see as a successful business?" What it?
Yeah.
And it's a short answer is a business that works when I'm not there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I'm never going to be there, but it's a matter of you can get off doing your own day-to-day business, knowing that the people you've employed around you, good people you've employed around you, are doing their jobs. And
so one of the biggest things,
runs.
part of our business plan for 2025 and future, is recruitment. So
100%.
we will have a recruitment drive coming up very soon. That recruitment drive will be looking particularly for administration, operation managers, people that can support us both, and that we're on our new website. So another thing for 2025, well, end of 2024.
But that needs to be sooner.
We're working on a brand new website with a fantastic company that are doing a great job. And we've had a fantastic photographer working with us as well.
Got a new brochure coming?
We've also got a new brochure coming. We've had new leaflets and flyers designed. We've done lots of flyer drop-in. It's literally go at the moment. All of this we want in place. So a good team to support us, a brand new sparkling website that's good for our customers, our shop window, which we've been told before, and we like that, don't we? Our brochure that we can leave with our customers, so it's not all about just when you go out, there is a reminder left for them when we go as well. So we've got quite a lot going on, haven't we, for 2025?
Well, it's amazing when we talk about everything we've done in the last few months with all of these new additions of what we're doing, that we're actually still doing all those other day-to-day tasks that we said are keeping us busy. So
And we are genuinely, I've got to say this, we're genuinely grateful to all of our amazing family.
Yeah.
There's a
lot of child support goes on in there as well.
Absolutely.
I don't mean child support as in,
No.
we're running him to cricket, running him to football, that kind of thing.
And our friends, I only speak for myself here, but our friends have to listen to us moan about, oh, what a long day I've had, or, that kind of stuff.
But also our friends, and we got, between us both, a good social media following with friends, and the amount of following and sharing of our posts that get done. So there is massiff support from friends.
Hopefully they'll support us hugely with our podcast.
But even other trades as well. There's other companies that have
and I really admire that.
And there are competitors out there that are really, really
supportive.
Helpful.
Absolutely.
And it's also great to have them around.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks. That's the end of our first podcast. For whether you're listening or watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we give you some insight out to HomeFix, how it started, where we've been, and what we're going to be, and where we're going.
So as we said, we've got a brand new website coming. It will still be www.homefixmk.co.uk. So follow us on that and our socials, and we will hopefully get you all to tune back in again next month. Look out for us. Thank you.
Thank you.